I made the biggest mistake of my life by making my stepfather an outsider at my wedding that he paid for. Now everyone is livid at me and I don't know how to make up for it. I got married 2 months ago to the love of my life, and he finally opened my eyes to what I did. He showed me the perspective I didn't understand. When I was 5, my father left us. He just disappeared without a trace. He and my mom were already separated by then, but he was still living with us. 3 years later, my mom started dating Rob. He was quite a bit younger than she was. I believe she was 34, and he was 26. Today, he is very wealthy, and he treats my mother like a queen. She looks like the happiest person in the world whenever she is around him. My younger sister looks a lot like my mom, but her personality is a reflection of her dad, always telling jokes and being just a nice person all around, while my mom and I are more serious and cold. As I got older, Rob became more present in my life. He got married to my mom, and she got pregnant, but seeing him as a father figure was still pretty weird, mostly because people would assume he was my brother all the time. When I was in HS, I was dating this boy, and he broke up with me at my friend's house. My mom was on a night shift, and I had to ask Rob to pick me up. When he did, he comforted me, took me to get ice cream, and when we got home, he told me something like this: "Whoever made you sad doesn't understand that you are the best girl in the world, and it's their loss. Don't beat yourself up because others are too stupid to see it." I just told him, "I wish you were my dad." He smiled and said he wished that too, and he could be if I wanted to. We left it at that. I never called him dad, but from that point forward, I saw him as a father, and I think he knows it. I finally reconnected to my biological father about a year ago. It happened because I got engaged. When I came to my mom's house one day, he was there, and I couldn't even recognize him. He was way thinner than he was when I was a kid. He struggled for years with depression and substance abuse. My mom and Rob helped him get clean, and they even paid for his stay at a great rehabilitation center. They decided that it was time for me to meet him again finally. I don't want to explore much on how this was, but all I have to say is that I'm glad to have him back in my life, and I'm glad to be able to help him heal. He suffered a lot. He got lost, but now he is at least trying. Rob and my mother paid for everything at my wedding, which was amazing. The church was beautiful, and my husband looked amazing. The one mistake I made was that I chose my biological father over Rob. I chose the man who abandoned me for over 20 years over the one who took me as his own and gave me everything he could when he didn't have to. I chose the man who broke my mother's heart over the one that saved her. I don't know why I did what I did. Looking back on it, I feel so stupid. My dad didn't deserve to walk me down the aisle. My dad didn't deserve to be in all the pictures with my mom and my husband's parents. It should have been Rob. I don't know. I think I was compensating for the time lost with my dad. Everything was still so fresh with him. I was helping him out. He talked to me every day, and I felt like he deserved to be back in my life. When we were deciding who would give speeches, we had to cut some because it was just too many and my husband didn't really like the idea of hearing speeches for an hour and a half. So we decided on 5 people each. When I gave the list to my husband, he even asked, "No, Rob?" And I said, "Yeah, my mom is already doing one." The others I chose were 2 bridesmaids, my mom, my sister, and, again, my dad. My husband said I should reconsider. He even thought of giving up one of his jobs to put Rob in. I said it was fine. He didn't need to do that. My whole thinking when doing this was that Rob has my sister. He will have his moment. This was the only chance my dad had. But I went too far. I completely cut him out of the party. If you look at the photos, it doesn't even look like he went. My mom looks like she is faking a smile in half the pictures. I don't have a single picture of him. He only appears in group pictures and some with my husband. I only realized this when I texted Rob 2 days ago, asking him about a gift I'm giving my husband for his birthday. He answered. Then, he asked about my car with a mechanic friend of his. He answered. Then I asked him something about my insurance. He did not answer. A little over an hour later, my mom called me. She just said, "Do you have no shame? Do you not understand what you did?" I just listened, and she told me not to talk to Rob for now. I was just so confused. I got home and told my husband, and he just said that he knows what she is referencing but he will talk to her first. Later, he showed me the wedding photos. He went step by step through everything I have listed here. He talked calmly and broke it down for me. By the end, I was crying so much that I had a headache. What an inconsiderate idiot I am. He told me he and my mom didn't tell me anything before the party because Rob asked them not to. He understood that it was important for me for my father to be a big part of this day, and when they protested, he said that they should not make me worry about these small things. I don't know what changed from before the party to now. My mom only told me that he needed a bit of time and that he would talk to me soon. My husband kept telling me that I had made a mistake, but Rob would understand and forgive me, and I know that he will. He 100% has already forgiven me. He probably felt something that broke him down when I was texting him that day. I don't know what I said to trigger him at that moment, but it doesn't really matter. I did the real damage at the party, probably since he appeared to be fine with everything else before it. I have to make it up to him. I don't know how, but I just do. I guess I'm just writing this here because I'm a little lost. I'm too ashamed to talk about it with anyone I know, apart from my mom and husband. She doesn't tell me anything, and my husband keeps insisting that everything will be fine and for me not to worry too much about it. And he is probably right, but I feel that not worrying about this is just being inconsiderate to Rob again. I have to worry. I just don't know what to do. Update: my sister is mostly just sad, not mad at me. She just said she understood my situation, but it still was really shitty seeing her father taken for granted and sad. My mother is the person most pissed off at me at the moment. She is the only one that still does not talk to me. I mean, she does, but not really. The day I posted here, my mom told me Rob wanted to speak to me and to go to their home after work. I went and waited for Rob to arrive. When he did, my mom left us alone. He started by saying that he was hurt by what I did at the wedding, that he knows he is not my father and that he would never try to force that on me, but that he at least thought he had some sort of importance in my life, and seeing me just not give him any importance apart from talking to him when I need help with something made him realize that I do not view him he thought I did. At this point, I was already crying so much that I couldn't even talk. I waited for him to finish, and when he did, I just told him basically what you all saw in the post, that I effed up bad, that I was inconsiderate, that he is one of the most important people in my life, and that what I did was unforgivable. He said something about my time at college, and I said, but that was because, and stopped. He asked me, what, because of what? I just said, nothing, you are right, that was my fault, and I should have done better. He was pretty angry at that point and he started to smile, and we talked about me taking responsibility for my actions. It's something I am terrible at. It was an issue at my old job, and since then I have been trying to be better at it, but not very successfully. We talked about a lot of other things not related to the wedding. At the end, I just told him that there were two things I wanted to say for him to take away from this conversation. I did mean it when I was in HS and said that I wished he was my dad. Even now, with my biological dad in my life, I still feel that way. The second thing is that I know it will be hard for him to believe it right now because of what happened, but I will try to prove it to him for as long as it takes. For those interested, I've been going to a therapist with my biological father once every 2 weeks since he came back, but I think I need one for myself, so I will try to make it happen soon. I'm not sure how I will make up for this. Rob is telling me that over time, just me being how I was before my biological father showed up will be enough for him. I don't doubt him, but it's not enough for me. I will live with what I did for the rest of my life. I will always remember,